Okay, so you work out 3 to 5 days a week. You're pushing hard in the gym. You leave tired. You're not missing any workout days. But then you look in the mirror and you realize you look pretty much the same as you did 6 months ago. There's a reason for that, and it's not your genetics, it's not your age, and it's not the fact that you're not trying hard enough. There's actually one small shift that can change everything for you, and almost nobody explains it very clearly. And in a few minutes, I'm gonna show you exactly what that shift is. And the one question that you should be able to answer after every workout. Because if you can't answer that question, then you're definitely not training properly. All right, let me ask you something. Have you ever walked out of the gym thinking, damn, I just crushed that workout. I feel so good. And then you look in the mirror and you start thinking, I still look pretty much the same. Then that frustration starts to build up. At first you're motivated, then you get a little confused, and then you get discouraged. And eventually a dangerous thought shows up. The thought of, am I meant to do this? Am I meant to build muscle? Am I meant to have the body of my dreams? And then you think, maybe this just isn't for me. And that thought is wrong. But until you understand why, it feels real. Here's what almost everyone in this position is doing. They're consistent. They're going to the gym. They're lifting the same weights. They're doing the same reps. And they're doing that week after week after week. And there's one specific mistake hidden in that pattern that's keeping people stuck. I'll break that down in a second. First, you need to understand something critical. There is a difference between exercising and training. Exercising is when you go to the gym and you are working hard and you may leave tired and exhausted, and you may have even felt like you accomplished something because of the fact that you gave your all. But the thing is that you may not have accomplished anything because you never actually really track what you do in the gym. Which brings me to training. Training is when you're actually tracking every single thing you're doing in the gym to make sure that the next time you go to the gym, you can beat what you did last time. And that way you can actually accomplish something for real. Here's the hidden mistake. You're not increasing the demand. Your body will adapt to whatever stimulus that you give it. And if that stimulus doesn't change, then your body will not change. Consistency without progression just equals maintenance. So do you remember earlier I told you there should be one question that you should be able to answer after every single workout? Here it is. The question is, what did I improve on today? And if you can't answer that question, then that means that you clearly exercised that day instead of trained that day. Let that sink in. Because this is where most people stay stuck for years. They aren't able to answer that question consistently after every workout. Now, of course, you won't be able to improve on every workout, but until you reach an elite level of strength, you will be able to improve on most of your workouts for a long time. All right, now let's get to the fun part. Let's make this practical. Say you bench 135 pounds for 10 reps, and week 1, you're doing 135 for 10 reps. And then week 5, you're still doing 135 for 10 reps. And then in week 10, you're still doing 135 for 10 reps. Would your chest grow in week 10? Let's be honest here. You've been doing the same thing for the last 10 weeks. The answer obviously is no, it's not gonna grow anymore. It probably grew at most by week number 5, and it stopped adapting after that. Now let's change one variable. Let's say now week 1, you did 135 for 10. And then in week 5, you're at 155 for 10. And then in week 10, you're at 175 for 10. This is what forces your body to change. You are now changing the stimulus, so your body will have to adapt to it. But here's where people mess up. They think progression means dramatic big jumps. Your chances of injury dramatically increases. So a good rule is to always increase by just a little bit. This means adding the 2.5s on for all your upper body movements, adding 5 pounds on your side for legs. Progress can come in 3 different ways. It can come from 1 extra rep, just a little bit more weight than last time. And number 3 is having more control this time around. These small improvements, they will compound. All right, now let's go back to that negative thought that you may have. The thought of maybe this just isn't for me. If you're working out 3 to 5 times a week, it's not that fitness isn't for you. It's that no one ever taught you how to apply progression. You already have discipline, you already show up, you just lack direction. And direction is what changes everything. Remember in the beginning, I said there was a small shift that can change everything? Here it is. Stop trying to do more. More is not always the answer. Instead, start trying to improve. And that's the shift. It's not more workouts, it's not more sweat, it's not more sets. It's about improvement. Measurable, intentional improvement. But let me make it extremely practical for you. Here's a 3-step structure that you can apply to your next workout. Step 1, pick 3 to 4 core lifts. Now make sure these are compound movements like bench press for all your pressing muscles, squats for your leg development, pull-ups for all your pulling muscles. Just make sure that it is a compound movement that involves multiple muscles. In step 2, you're gonna write down the weight and the reps that you do in that workout. And what I do is I actually use my iPhone and I just get the notepad in the iPhone and I type out what I did in that workout. So that way next time I know what to do. And then step 3 is beat what you did last time, and you can beat it in 3 different ways. The first way is you add a little bit of weight compared to last time and you try to match the reps. The second way is you are adding 1 rep while keeping the weight the same. And the third one is having more control than last time. Be careful though with this third option, because what happens is over time you still need to add weight to the bar. So an example, let's say you do 135 for 10 and you're having more control than last time. And now you spent 6 months just working on control. And now you can bring down 135 for a 20-second eccentric. Yes, that's great, but now you're entering the realm of more endurance training versus actually packing on strength and muscle. Adding weight and adding reps is definitely gonna be superior to just having more control over that bar. And that's it. Do these 3 steps, improve every time, and I assure you, you will get stronger and you will see results. So if you train 3 to 5 times a week, don't train more, just train better. Stop chasing exhaustion, start chasing progress. Because once you train with intention, your body has no choice but to respond. And now that you know the shift, you can't unsee it. And that's how change starts. If this helped you, subscribe and I'll see you in the next one.